Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, man. It's not Victory Monday, it's Sad Loss Monday. But hey, it's or would you say Failure Monday? um, Cowboys got thumped yesterday by the Denver Broncos. There was a lot of orange in Cowboys Stadium yesterday afternoon, and you know what? I hope this is a learning lesson for the Dallas Cowboys organization because you came in, you saw a team that got rid of Von Miller, got rid of a couple other players, and you thought that they were packing it up for the season. But no. They came in doing their homework. Vic Fangio had this team going, and they came in ready, and the Cowboys weren't ready. They got caught with their draws down. And they underestimated a team that they should have beat, right? But you have to stay humble in this league at all times because I'm telling you guys all the time, every team in the league gets paid money. These are professional athletes. It doesn't matter with their record. Any team can beat any team at any time. The worst team in the league can beat the Super Bowl team if that Super Bowl team is caught slipping. We just got caught with our draws down. That's just what it is. And when you get caught with your draws down, you're gonna get embarrassed. That's just pretty much what it is. So, um, the hardest part about the loss is like, cause me personally, like, what I don't worry about the loss. What doesn't worry about me with the loss is the simple fact that it's not a division game, it's not a conference game. They're an AFC team, we're an NFC team. You didn't necessarily need that win, especially because the Rams lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the Cardinals won, but like some other teams lost that were higher seeds, like the Cowboys. So everybody's still at the even pace. The Eagles lost, so we're still 3 games ahead in the division. And Washington was on a bye this week. The Giants did win, but that still gave them their third win. So when you look at the grand scheme of things, there were other teams that got beat by lesser teams, like the Bills being beat by the Jags. Um, I think the Saints lost. Was it the Saints win? I got to go back and look at the schedules, but the Giants winning too. That against the Raiders, that was a big one because the Raiders were expected to win that, and we have the Raiders for Thanksgiving. Um, the Packers losing, the LA Rams losing. Now, I know that they didn't have Aaron Rodgers, the Packers, but we already know that was going to be an L without him. So, that was on him. He's not vaccinated. So, you know, it is what it is. Now, when you look at us going forward, after being embarrassed like that, you better come back on track against the Falcons this week because they got a young Kyle Pitts and they got some weapons over there too. They got Cordero Patterson, and I have both of those guys in fantasy, and they've been putting up good points every week. So, uh, you don't want to be embarrassed like that again. You don't. You don't. Um, the Cowboys have to stay humble no matter what the people on the outside say, whether it's good or bad about them. They got to stay humble. They have to stay focused. Dak said he doesn't want to blame his injury on the reason why he's was rusty, but I think a lot of that has to do with his injury and him not playing. Uh, Wide receivers dropping the ball left and right. The whole team was just flat all over the place. The only thing I could say good is Michael Parsons had a good game. A couple of guys on defense were rushing pretty well, but the defense didn't play too bad. But it's just that when your offense is not putting up the numbers or putting up points, their defense was on the field most of the game. Our defense was on the field more than our offense was. So whenever your defense is on the field more than your offense is, that's not a good thing. No matter how good a defense is, they're gonna get demolished by the other team, and the other team is going to score on them because they're going to get tired. There's 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 not but so many rotations you can do on defense as far as getting players in and out of there because they're still going to be tired because they're out there so much. You got to give them a break. So your offense has to get out there, start churning butter, get the other team's defense on their heels and things of that nature. So, um, Mike McCarthy took the credit on certain things as far as the loss, with the 4th and 1 call and telling the players that they needed to dial it back because we were getting too many penalties. But again, it's hard to tell. This Cowboys is a young team. It's not like we have a old guy like Jason Witten on this team. Our oldest player on this team is like D Law, Brett Urban, and Tyron Smith. Those are the old heads on this team. And they're like 29, 30. So when you look at the age category now with these young guys, you football players, if you ever play football, you know that coaches always preach, I need an animal on that field. I need you to be tough on that field. We don't need you being soft on this field. So when you tell a guy that for years and years and years, football players are known to be animals on the field. So to tell a football player to dial it back, more than likely a football player is not gonna know exactly how to dial it back. Like there's no gray area. It's like either they're animals or they're not animals. It's not like I could be less of an animal. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that with some of that, like they weren't as aggressive in this game. You could tell they weren't because it was like they weren't trying to get penalized. But of course, we get penalized anyway because that's just the way the refs call us. But what really pissed me off is not so how bad our team played. It's the noise from the talking heads. Like normally I don't listen to the shit they say, but I knew that when we lost this game, they were going to be talking. First of all, the talking heads were the ones that were hyping the Cowboys up anyway. The Cowboys themselves did not hype themselves up like that. That was outside talk anyway. So for you to say that and then retract it and be like, because they lost one game, really, I I can't stand Shannon Horseface Sharp. I can't stand him. Like he's sniggling and shit with his big face ass. Like you're talking. I understand you play for the Broncos, whatever. You're excited about your team, whatever. But you don't just say one time, "Oh well, I think the Cowboys are gonna win," and all of a sudden it loses. Like, "Oh well, the Cowboys ain't this and the Cowboys ain't that." So last week we played the Vikings. We were here, and all of a sudden you lose one game and we're here. That's bullshit. That's a bunch of horse shit I've ever heard in my life. There's no way in hell you're gonna tell me that the Dallas Cowboys have lost that much of a mojo. Like they're all of a sudden not a good team because of this, that, and the third. Come on, bro. Come on. You played in the league. Talking like that is nonsense. You should know better than that. And whoever else, these other guys that were talking mess too. It's just like I've read articles and stuff that people were saying like, oh, shame on me for thinking the Cowboys are different than they were in years past. This team is different than they were in years past. Just because you lost one game, everybody in the league has at least one loss. There's nobody in this league is undefeated. Tell me when the last time a team won the Super Bowl and did not have a loss. You'll be hard pressed to find that. And if it is a thing, it was a long time ago because in my lifetime I don't remember seeing a team going undefeated and then winning the Super Bowl. I ain't never seen it. So they've at least lost one or two games because what happens is when you keep winning, you're gonna have games where you're like, all right, we're gonna keep our foot off the pedal because we just been winning. We're good. You get cocky, and then a team that's hungry is gonna come and get at least one win on you. Hell, the year that Tampa Bay last year when they won the Super Bowl during COVID year last year, I forgot what team they played, but they got stepped on and they got blown out by a team that they shouldn't have. It happens, but nobody said nothing about that. Nobody said, "Oh, Tampa Bay is not going to be anything this year." Nobody said that. But all of a sudden, when the Cowboys play and they lose a game, all of a sudden it's like the world's freaking falling, and that's the thing that really irritates me. It's just like the perception of our team, and and how it makes some of our fan base feel. Because let's be honest with you, some of our fan base actually listen to that shit that they say, and it makes some of our fan base second guess our own team. No, be smarter than that. Understand that, like, when you hear that shit, understand it's a bunch of crap. A bunch of crap. It is, because there's no way you're gonna tell me that we've been good all this year, this year, and having a 6 game winning streak, and all of a sudden you lose one, and then you're just nothing. Oh, Dak ain't what he was. Now all of a sudden Dak doesn't deserve his money. Even Skip was like, "Oh, Dak played like he was worth $7 or some shit like that." And I'm just like, Skip, you claim my Cowboys. Stop saying your Cowboys. It ain't your Cowboys, because you can't be a hypocrite. You can't say this one week and say this a different week. It doesn't work like that. You just jumping off and on the bandwagon with the Cowboys, because you also like Tampa Bay because you like Tom Brady, and you have you're in love with Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. Like, come on, bro. Root for one team. Cut that shit out. But it is what it is. I just I keep it 100 on this channel, and if you hear me say anything in my mouth, that's what I'm saying. I don't backtrack. I don't be like, oh well, if I said it, I said it. And if I said something that was not right, okay, I make mistakes. I'm human, just like anybody else. But what I'm not gonna do is be a hypocrite, and I'm not a homer either. If my team is playing like crap, they're playing like crap. But there's different variables, and I explained to y'all already why this team didn't win. It ain't that they're not good. It's just that they went in there and they weren't prepared, and they got caught with their pants down. And what happens when you get caught with your pants down? You get embarrassed, and that's what happened with our Dallas Cowboys. It's simple. That's all it is. So, with that being said, man, that's all I got for right now. Let me know what you guys think about the whole situation. It is what it is, but I know one thing: they're gonna be ready for the Falcons, because you got Dan Quinn, you got Demonte Kazee, you got Keanu Neal playing against their old team, and they're gonna be ready. So it is what it is. One thing I do know about the Cowboys, they always bounce back from an embarrassment. So I'm not worried too much about it. And forget what them outside heads say, because they ain't nothing. And with that being said, let's get out of here.